What's up guys, Eric here and welcome to the channel. In this video I'll be doing a product overview of VVivid's new utility knife for vinyl wrapping and crafting. Okay, so taking an up close look at the knife, you can see here that it's basically a plastic bodied knife. This would be the top side, if you will, with the logo on it and the clicking mechanism. It is divided into three sections. You have a top cap, main body, and then a back cap, if you will. Here, going on to as far as clicking the blade out, this is just your mechanism to move out and forward. One click puts out just a little bit of the tip, as you can see. Another click puts out a little bit more of the tip, and then last click puts out the whole blade. Now you notice that this is a blade that is an X-Acto knife style, which is on the angle part, that's where the sharp part of the blade is, versus say a 30-degree blade where the flat part of the blade is where the sharp part of the blade is, and the angle is the non-cutting side. So this one utilizes a different style blade from standard, or what most wrap installers would use, which is a 30-degree blade or a 59-degree blade, sometimes referred to as a 45-degree blade. So that being said, this is not a snap-off blade type like you would use in these here, where you can see the snap-off lines right there. So each blade is essentially a one-time use, meaning once it goes not as sharp as you want it to be, then you'll have to replace the entire blade. So in order to replace the entire blade, you would pull off this cap here, which is on fairly firmly and snugly, boom, which is good. And so you can see the blade in here, which is a standard looking kind of X-Acto knife blade, and it came with 5 additional blades in the package. And so to replace it, you can see there's kind of a holder tab right there, and then like a notch right there. So if you lift the blade up just a little bit and then pull it out of the tab, you can see that it comes right out. And then to put a new blade in, you would slide the back into that notch holder, or into the holder, and then put the blade over that notch area. Retract it so you don't stab yourself accidentally, and then you put the cap back on and make sure you snap it in place well, and that's how you would replace the blade on this particular knife. There is another part that you can pull off in the back, which is right here. You can pull that off, and that's so you can replace out the sliding mechanism if you ever needed to, but I don't know that you would ever need to at this point. If something like that happened, you would probably just buy a whole new knife versus trying to buy a new mechanism for it. Inside of it, as you saw or maybe have seen, it does have a metal rail slide inside of it. So even though it's plastic bodied on the outside, it does have a metal railing system on the inside, which makes it more durable. As far as fit and finish, it comes in a matte kind of satin finish. It's soft and smooth, softish and smooth to the touch. It does have a really good feel to it. This was designed so you can use it like a pen or a pencil. And notice I'm holding it, and just like I would a pencil, so you can almost draw when you're cutting, if you will. And with the blade angle this way, it offers a different kind of cutting style versus the blade being more like this already when you have it compared to a 30-degree blade, for example. It does feel really good in the hand. It's not heavy or it's not light. I mean, it just feels nice. It feels evenly balanced. With this plastic bodied end tip right here, you could put this in between, let's say, the door gap on a vehicle, and that would be your guide, almost like a sasser tool where it has the wheel. So you put this right in the door gap, measure my fingertips for the door gap, boom, push on it, and then you extend the blade 1 or 2 clicks, turn it in, and then you get your cut going, and then the plastic body will follow the 2 sides of the door, and you should have a nice, good, clean click. So let's take a comparison of the new VVivid knife against a couple of other knives that are out there. We'll start with VVivid's own other knife, which is this one here. This is one that I've had for quite a while. It was released probably about 3 or 4 years ago now. It's also a very good knife by VVivid. This also does kind of have that pencil-like feel or grip to it. However, you'll notice that the new knife is a little bit thinner, whereas this knife is at least fatter in the main body. So as I'm holding this, it does feel a little bit different than this. This one right here with the thinner but not completely thin like this metal Olfa bodied knife. Upon initial blush, it does feel a little bit better than the kind of the fatter body in the back here as I hold it like a pencil. This one does have your standard 30-degree snap-off blade inserts. Has this one actually is a little bit more feature rich in the sense that it has, if you put your blade here, right there, that notch right there, you can put knifeless. That's a knifeless tape cutter, so you put your, make sure there's part of a blade right there. If you have knifeless tape, you just hook that and cut it. That way you don't have to have the whole blade out. This one does have multiple clicks for the amount of blade that you want out, and you can expose even more blade, longer blade. And if this was a full blade cartridge, it can go all the way out to here. So that's just one difference there. Again, based solely on the type of blade, type of cartridges that it uses. Again, this is a snap-off blade style, whereas this knife uses a X-Acto knife, individual blade style blade. So just one of the differences between VVivid's other knife and this. This again has that notch. As far as replacing the blades, and this one is a little different, where you pull it from the back, and then you would have to pull this out so you can replace your cartridge, just like this. Again, just totally different in terms of style. It's just whatever you prefer. There are utilities for both of these, and again, once I've had a chance to use this knife more in particular, I can give you a better product review feedback on it compared to, say, this knife or even this other knife here, which is an Olfa stainless steel body. And so we'll compare that to the VVivid body. So the Olfa is even skinnier, as you can see, than the VVivid knife, which is actually nicely in between this one and their other knife, which is a fatter body. With this being a metal body knife, you have to be a little careful in the sense that you could, because it is metal, you could scratch paint or vinyl. This VVivid body style is nice because it has a soft, or it has a plastic rounded edge, and so it's less likely to scratch or nick or scuff vinyl and or paint than, say, a stainless steel metal body. This one is also a 30-degree holder, or you can also put 45-degree, or really they're 58, 59-degree blades, but they're referred to as 45-degree blades. And then you replace it like the other VVivid knife by pulling out the back. You can have your cartridge, and then you just hook the new blade cartridge in and close it up. This one is super skinny, as you can see, relative to the other two knives. It does hold nicely as a pencil, but it's almost too thin. And then because it is thin, this mechanism kind of gets in the way, it feels like, versus not having a little more body going into the cup of your hand or of your thumb right there. It's not a bad knife. I actually like this because it is so thin. These are great for getting into some areas where you just can't, where you need to get in a little bit further with the body or have the body pressed against something. So comparatively speaking, again, a different style knife than this VVivid. Not saying it's better or worse, but it is a different style knife that uses a different kind of blade. Compared to other more common wrap utility knives, this one takes a different direction in terms of the blade use mostly. The body, again, is really nice so far from just initial touching it and holding it. It feels really well balanced. You know, with this here, this part is not pushing into my thumb. In fact, it's right here where I could actually hold a little bit better for doing fine contour cutting or trace cutting if need be. And then again, this will be neat for using this almost like a Yellow Tools roller knife, where you can use the body of the knife itself kind of as your brace between two seams of a car door, so you can again cut in the seam using the body of this knife as the guide. Alright guys, so hopefully this has been a good overview of VVivid's new precision gliding knife. Again, this was meant to be an overview of the knife, not as a product review, simply because I just got the knife and haven't had proper opportunities to test it out well on a couple of different projects. On initial blush, this seems like it's a very promising knife. It is a little different from your other standard knives that have your snap-off blades that use a 30 or a 58, 59 degree snap-off blade, whereas this uses the X-Acto knife style blades. So once this blade does get duller, or dull enough that you need to replace it, you got to replace the whole thing versus just snapping off part of the snap off blade and then going from there. So I'm interested, if you've gotten this knife already and have used it, what do you think? Do you like it or do you not like it? If you did like it, what exactly did you like about it? And if you didn't, what exactly did you not like about it? Drop some comments below. If you do want to get this knife, check out the links in the description below. But either way, I'd be interested in hearing your comments on what you think of this knife, whether actual use or just watching this product overview video. Alright guys, so hopefully this video has been helpful and informative for you and maybe entertaining in some way, shape, or form. If you did like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the bell notification button so you get notices whenever I post new content to the channel. I'm working on more videos that I'd love to share with you guys. Thanks again for all your support and for watching, and have a great day.